everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It is Charlotte. If you watched yesterday's video, you're probably looking at this mess and thinking, that looks just like the video I saw. Well, sorry, I've got water. It is and it isn't, because I had to get up this morning and go into Phoenix for an appointment. Way up on 7th Street, which is way up by the tunnel. And I know if you're not at all familiar with the Valley, that means nothing to you, but it's getting on the 10. The 10 goes into California. So it's a major freeway, thoroughfare that goes from Tucson up into California. So that should tell you right there. Lots of trucks, lots of stuff going on. No fun. I haven't had to be up there in a few years. So anyway, I got back. It was after 12:30. I hadn't had anything to eat. I know, blah, blah. Who cares? But just letting you know why this video is the way that it is today. So I didn't think there'd be a video done at all. And I thought, well, I've got these to make, these really cute index cards to make. And so I'll just turn the camera on. A lot of you say, love to just sit and watch you craft. You know, it's funny because I love to sit and watch people craft, but I can't understand why anybody would want to see me craft. Isn't that just weird? It's just, yeah, just weird. So I put the camera on, and now if I can try to find my stuff to work with. Okay, so I thought as many of these as I can get done, that's how many I can give away. And that makes me really, really happy. So I know that we need a 6.5 by a 9.5 piece of cardstock. So I know I've got this piece here left over. And oh, by the way, I was kind of watching back my movie, Waterfall Journal. I think I called it Alternate Journal. Yeah, that's, you know, what are you going to do? So, Waterfall Journal. So we need 6.5 high, obviously. 6.5 high. Which means this is what, 5.5, because it's a 12 by 12. Yeah, 5.5. So I think I'm going to do something with these as well. By 11.5. No, 9.5. Oh my goodness, Charlotte. 9.5. There we go. I might do something with this too. Let's just see what we can come up with. But we've got that. Might as well cut this while I've got it. Okay, so 6.5. I was really impressed by how many of you loved this project, 9.5. And while I'm doing that, I probably should go ahead and take these pieces and cut them down to 9.5. Well, we've got the cutter out. And then we've got these little pieces. So, same with, I had this one, so 9.5. And then, do I have one more piece? I should, technically, and I do right here. Cut this down. And then I've got this here. Okay, cut this down. 9.5. So that's going to give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. Let's see if we can come up with, let's see what else I've got, because I really, really want to be doing lots of giveaways between now and beginning of the new year. This is a cool piece, although this would make great tags, so I think I'm going to hold on to that. Then I have this weird, I'm not a big camper or barbecuer kind of person. If you were doing a cookbook, this would be adorable. So I'm wondering, that might be a cool idea, but that's definitely, to me, very Christmassy colors. So that is not at all Christmas. So I'm thinking this might be cute. So let's see if this is 6.5. Let's see what this measures. 6. But I think that'd be all right. 6. And I don't think I'm going to leave it for... I don't see myself doing a cookbook. So, not real worried about it. It would be real... This would be real... It doesn't have enough color for me. I think that's my problem with this paper. But this is some of that cardstock that Dana gave me years ago. And so that's one of the big reasons why I like to pay it forward, because a lot of this I got from her, and I feel like, okay, that was gifted to me, so now I am going to create something and gift it to somebody else. It just seems like the right thing to do. So let's start with that, and then we'll get back to cutting the tags up. We're going to have to do that. So I know from here, then I went to scoring. So we need the scoreboard. Just bear with me, because we are going to get there. Good old scoreboard. So we were going to score at 4 3/4. And I was watching somebody that was saying if you score on both sides, oh, I don't want you to see that because that's an upcoming something. If you score on both sides, your paper's not supposed to crack. And I thought, okay, well, let's give that a try, because thick paper, thick card stock like this tends to want to do that. So 4 3/4, and I am going to be fairly gentle with I'm not going to push too much. I'm going to be kind of light-handed, because I really don't want to crack this paper. I wish I could remember. I think when I'm watching videos, I am going to have to start keeping paper by my side. I am one of those that says, okay, let's get organized. Let's make lists so we don't forget things. So I make the lists, and then I forget the lists. Or I make the lists, and I just don't ever use them. So I'm kind of one of those. Then you could see where it would just stand to reason that I have paper by my computer, and then I don't use it. So, yeah, I am going to try to get myself way better organized. I really need Gail Gustinelli to come and help me, because she is so organized. I think that's a gene you're born with, or many times in your career, you've got a job where you really have to be organized. My mother was so organized, you guys, you would not believe. Her organizational skills were incredible. And she worked for the government. She was a purchasing agent in San Francisco. So, I mean, she had a 30-year career. It wasn't just San Francisco, but before she retired, for many, many years, she worked downtown San Francisco. And I think that probably had a lot to do with her being as organized as she was. But she never taught me how to organize, and it doesn't come natural. So it's not a gene that I have. But I think a lot of it too could be just through her work. She was forced to be. When I worked as a floral designer and went to school for that, learned it, and I think I was pretty good at it, if I do say so myself. I worked for a lot of individual florists, but I also worked for 1-800-Flowers, and you're probably pretty familiar with that company. And you work in chaos, literally. You work like this. There's just a mess everywhere around you. You can't help it. There is no time to clean up, especially during a holiday season. And so, I think that's just my preference for working. I work better like that, and it drives my husband crazy. If he comes in my work spot, he can't find anything, but I could, in this mess, tell you where everything is. For the most part, I know where it is. Now, the rest of my home, it's not like this at all. This is me working. And sometimes when I'm watching Gail's videos, and I bring up Gail because out of everybody, she seems to be the most organized person. She's got things in little cubbies. She's got things in little containers. And Christmas is all together, and fall is all together, and I'm all over the house, which is why I can never find anything. So I think next year I'm going to try to be a little bit more like that, but it's forced for me. And when I do organize, then I can never find anything. And that is the truth, guys. I'm like, okay, where is this? When I organized, how did my brain work? Where did I want to put this? And then I can never find anything. Like my beeswax, I don't know where my beeswax is. I still haven't found it. If you remember when we were working on Halloween, I never did find my Halloween Tim Holtz paper dolls. I still don't know where they're at, but I remember last year after Halloween I organized. Here you go. That's just how it is. So I think it's just best to be yourself. Do your thing. Every once in a while I have to clean up because it's just too much. And then I can't find anything. And then it ends up like this. One project and I'm right back to where I was. So, alrighty, enough of that before I bore you to death, which is not what I want to do. Happy November 1st. This is being made November 1st. You're going to see it on the 2nd. But happy November 1st. Hard to believe. We had a great time at our kids' house last night for trick or treat and Halloween. Our son every year takes out the barbecue, puts on hot dogs, has buns, all these assorted chips, waters, assorted sodas, and it's for the parents and the kids, so he grills. So my husband was at the grill for a lot of the while, so our son could visit with his friends, and it was just a really, really nice time. Some of these people I don't see except for once a year on Halloween, so it's always fun. But woke up this morning and that's over. All right, this is the size of the two that we did together. So these are the actual 6.5 by 4. They all should be by 4 3/4, but some of them are not going to be 6.5. Some of them are going to be a little bit smaller, so we may have to cut our index cards down. And I'm going to be playing around with this, so we'll see what happens with this as well, because I've got the 6.5 at 2 inches here. So what that means is I'm going to use this to make the tab, and I'm going to put my ends at 2 inches. That's going to give me my tab, but when we get to the smaller ones, that's going to be iffy. It's just going to be trial and error. So anything in particular for the front, that's pretty, but for whatever reason, I really like this. So we're going to go with this. And then I got to thinking about this, and I was thinking, this would be so cute if this was a pocket, or even if you left this to open up and you had pockets here and this was just stuffed full of tags. So I had an idea for Friday's index card, but I might change that. So these two with the barbecue, they are measuring, let's see, we got 2, 4, 6. So instead of 6.5, they are 6. So I still could do this, do the 2, but I think I'll do 1 3/4 on this, and let's see what that tab will look like. So 1 3/4, 1 3/4. I think that's going to work out well. So 1 3/4. I need to get organized so that I can get some of my die cuts for Christmas out, because I think it'd be fun to fill the little pockets if we do that Friday with die cuts, Christmas die cuts. Then these are going to measure 2, 4, 5.5. So if I put this, I could put this on the 1.5, or we could do something on the side. Which do we want to be the front? Looks like it's exactly the same. This shows a little bit more. Let's just do 1.5. 1.5 on these. So 1.5. Like I said, if you don't have a punch board, to me it would be a lot harder. But you could get your ruler and pencil out, and you could just go ahead and mark tabs. Or if you have a tab cutter, one of these that cuts tabs, you could always just cut tabs and put them wherever you want them. That will work too. Or you could have no tabs. If you have a whale tail, you could go ahead and use a whale tail. I wish I had a whale tail. I've always wished I had a whale tail, but I don't. And you just have to make do with what you have. Be inventive, be creative. All right, so now I think we may be done with that. What we're going to have to do is get our ruler, get our pencil. It might be easier to see this way. Hopefully that light, I've got glare. I've got a beautiful, beautiful cutting mat that my daughter-in-law gave me a couple years ago. That I could put this to my side and put the cutting mat here, and then you wouldn't have the glare. I don't do that because I don't want to ruin the cutting mat. I'm just afraid if I wanted to use it to stitch on, I don't want to take a chance to ruin it because they're expensive. And that's why, but I think I might have a green one that's so messed up it wouldn't matter. So what we're doing here, in case you didn't catch it, is we are going to cut this off to be able to create that tab in the center. So I am just marking it, and we'll do them all kind of like an assembly line. So I'm just putting the ruler right up against where the punch is and marking so I know where to cut. And then the more of these that I get done, the more I can give away. But at the same time, I need to get to those two waterfall journals that are a giveaway, and then the large one for my shop. I did an Artie Mays project using envelopes and created a journal. I really wanted to use the envelopes and create a waterfall journal, and I think I did. And I did put journal pages in it. So if you didn't catch that, that is in my shop. If you just were interested, and there is a video because I don't have any photos of it. I just have the one introduction photo. So I figure you can see so much more if you look at the YouTube video of me showing you everything that I ever could put in the description box. So that's there, but I'm not going to be doing any December daily this year because personally I would rather be doing things like this to give to people than worrying about a December daily, and I don't use December dailies anyway, so there really isn't any point. Hopefully you can see that. If it's easier for you, you can always take it to the scoreboard and do it that way. Score it, fold it, and then that gives you, you can see that gives you your tab. So we are going to do that. These are so simple to make. I have been invited to do a Facebook group, ATC card swap, and I'm debating because I just have such a little time. But ATC cards are so small, you have to do 7 a month, and there's a theme. And if they can all be the same, I think I might have to pass. I hate to pass. I know it would be fun, but you know, you only have so much time, and you know, I'm involved in, I've got commitments already, and so hate to have to say no, and I'm really kind of waiting to the last minute. I had to say no to another design team, and I hated to do that, but I'm having trouble doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's just difficult. And with the holidays, you want to do the cookies and all the baking, and you don't want to be stressed. So I think I'm going to pass. All right, one more, and then we're going to round the corners. You can see how fast this goes and how easy it is. So for any of you that saw this video and you were at all confused or had an issue, this today may be the video for you. So excuse my reach. And I'm going to put this on the 1/2 inch mark. You don't have to do this. You could do decorative edges if you wanted. You could do no edges. You could do half of them, you know, one side, round it off. Wonder if this will work. Why, nope. One side rounded off, the other side not. You can distress. I don't see any cracking, so that tip may have worked. It was cloudy today, which is nice. I see blue sky, but we've got some clouds. Our son, every year when he does Halloween, he has a counter, and he's been doing this for years, just counting to see how many people come by. When we left last night, it was around 8 o'clock. I doubt that they were... we park our car around the corner at our daughter's in our daughter's driveway, and then just walk to our son's house. And there was a huge group that was coming when we were walking to our daughter's house to get our car. But they were really winding down. And when we left, he had given candy out to over 265 people. So I don't know what his final count was, but there were a lot of houses that were dark and did not participate. And I'm not surprised because, you know, money's tight. And if you're having trouble putting gas in your car or feeding your family, you're not going to be buying candy for the neighbors. So I get it. But it was really fun. The people that did come out, we had a lot of fun, and it was good to see so many and just be able to visit with people, talk to people, catch up on what's going on. Okay, we're done with that unless we want to do the tags. So now what we're going to do is let's write these. I know these two will take a full index card, and then these two were the next size, and then these were smaller. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, so I need a glue book. Don't need a pencil. Not right now. Don't need the ruler, but I need a glue book, and I know it's here somewhere. Here we go. And glue stick. Okay. So here's one. We're going to put this on the back side. This would be really cute if you decided to keep it open, put a bunch of pockets here. You could put a pocket or 2 pockets here, and then when you open this up, if you wanted to, you could have your index card on either side. That would be really cute too, guys. You could do that. Then you could have photo here if you wanted to, or a recipe here, or something like that. You could fill this up with gift cards front and back, and if you have a recipe of maybe one of your favorite treats that you're going to give to somebody, put this in there with it. That would be adorable. So I think lots of possibilities with this. So let's get going. You could even put a couple journal pages in here if you wanted to get real fancy. And that would be cute. I'm going to get this as even as I can. Eyeballing it. Not worrying about it. These are all going to be sewn. These are not going to be, they're not going to have pockets on the front. Although I am kind of thinking about that for Friday. But right now they need to get sewn. And then we're going to cut the tags. And have the tags ready to go inside. Okay, there's two of the large ones. So now we're going to come to this smaller one, and this just might fit and not have as much border. Nope, not quite. So I'm going to take probably, a little bit more than a ½ inch off of this, and I'm going to put the cutter in my lap just because it's convenient. So maybe a ½ inch is what I did. I'll do the same with this one because I know we've got two of those. I may have taken a ½ inch. That would still be okay. Let's look and see. I think I took a ½ inch, not a ½ inch. Yeah, ½ inch is going to look better, I think. So this is what we're going to have. ½ inch. I don't have to leave the house tomorrow. That makes me really happy. If you didn't catch my shorts from when we were up in Pine Top in the mountains, we had 2 apple trees that were absolutely loaded with apples, and you have to get them down because whether you're going to eat them or not, you have to get them down because we get bears. And even though everything is fenced, it's like a half fence. All the yards, it's a half fence. The bears will climb over the fence to get to the apples. So I don't know what the name of the apple trees are. They're 2 different varieties, and we pretty much got everything except a couple that were up high in the tall branches, and there's also a pear tree, but I haven't seen any fruit on that. So I've had these boxes of apples, and I haven't had time really to bake. So what I'm doing is just making applesauce, which is just fun because you just peel them, cook them down. Some I've added honey, some and cinnamon, and some I've done sugar. Of course, the sugar is way more popular. And I was doing that yesterday and have to finish cooking them, but we're just about done doing what we need to do with the apples. And boy, does the house smell good. You know, baked apples, cooked apples with cinnamon. I mean, yeah. Who's not going to be in love with that? Okay, then these were all the same, and let's see what we're going to cut off of these. I'm going to say 1 inch. I'm going to go with 1 inch, and we have 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3. We've got 4, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to take 1 inch. Let's see if we can do this all at once. Again, in my lap. And we'll take 1 inch off of these. see what that's gonna look like. Yep, an inch is good. So get this done. And like I had mentioned when we were doing this, I am not gluing the ends. You don't have to, and that just keeps your sewing machine needle from having to go through glue. So that is a really good thing. So let's see if I can see this. I've got this. Okay, neighbor's dog is barking. Okay, so we have 3 more to do. And get this done. Okay. Here's another. Make sure I get the glue on there. And then we've got 2 more. So we'll do this. And they don't have to be perfectly even. You know, that's fine if they're not. So 2 more. And then we've got tags. And obviously I will take these to the sewing machine off camera. I really do not like to sit and watch somebody stitch and have to hear that machine. It just, I can't put you through it. I don't like it. So, I mean, if you're really showing somebody how to do something, you can't help it. But I prefer not to have you sit there and watch me stitch these because you can't hear me speak, so what's the point? There's just no point in it. That's my opinion, but that's how it is. Okay, make sure we've got our corners, and then we're done with this. Get this down. Okay, so these can be put away until I take them to stitch. And now what I think we're going to do together, I can put this glue book away, pull out the cutter, because I think now we're going to see if I can find where I put all those tags. There are quite a few of them. All right, let me have just a second. I have to look in my bag. No, I've got them right here. Okay. So I will go through my Tim Holtz because I did put a label, and we will put a label on these, but let's go ahead and cut these down. We can cut this right here. So that makes a nice tag, and then we can cut this here. And this makes a nice tag. And then we will cut the end off of this. Like that. Look at this and see. Pretty sure it's Prima. You can see right here at the bottom we have a tear, so we are definitely going to go here. And we are going to cut this. I think the one that I did for the example had 4 tags, and then I think the one that we did together had 6 tags. So we're going to get as many tags in as we can. Let's cut this way. We will be cutting that tree, but that's okay. We will save so many other tags by doing this. Let's see what we've got. Okay, we have a Santa here. And we can cut this in half. So we'll just cut these up and see how many then we get. And I think I want that one, so put a little bit of that green. So there's 2. We'll cut this. There's 1, and that Santa was on the outside. So we've got that, and then we're going to cut this as 2 tags for the front. So we've got that. And we're going to do the same thing till we get through everything. And it makes me feel good because I am going to be then getting rid of all this extra paper. So that is nice. Let's see here. Cut this. We'll cut this. And we'll cut this. Okay. So we've got that. And looking at this, we're going to do the same thing again. And let's see, where is my, right here. We will cut this here at the Santa. And there's 2 more tags. We're going to use this for the front. Right here, the front of 1. And cut the 9 off. And cut this here. And repeat. We will just keep repeating till we've used it up. I'm thinking I need to make a Hobby Lobby. I have not been to Hobby Lobby, guys, in maybe a year. It has been forever since I have been to Hobby Lobby. And I think all their Christmas things are on sale. And I'm thinking it's time to make a haul. So I think I may be going, and if I go, I will share with you what I bring home. And if I find some really good deals, then we'll have a giveaway. If I find something really, really good for myself at a really, really good price, I'll pick up an extra. And we'll have some giveaways. Okay, I chopped that off just a tiny bit, but you're not missing anything. It's like right there, no big deal. Here's our Santa again that we want for the front. I may have more tags than I need, but we will just, I am going to fill up. I'm not keeping any of these. I am going to put these all in my index cards. If not these, then whatever's coming next. As you can see, I've got a lot of this paper. I probably should let you go because I'm just going to sit here. It's redundant. I'm doing the same thing over and over again. So I probably should just say hugs. And I will, as a matter of fact, I think I will. I am just going to say hugs. And I thank you so much for supporting, for watching. And I am going to keep up with this. I will catch you, everyone, in the next video. Take care and be well. Bye, guys.